Imagine waking up every morning full of purpose, ready to tackle the day. Not because you feel motivated, but because you built a system, a structure, a way of life that carries you forward no matter what. Motivation is fleeting. It whispers in your ear when you feel good, when the stars align, when everything seems easy. But let me tell you something. The moment life gets hard, the moment distractions creep in, that whisper fades. And if you were relying on it, you're left standing still, frozen, wondering why you didn't get there. Now picture a different reality, a life where you don't depend on fleeting feelings, a life where discipline, unshakable and relentless, drives you forward, where habits aren't chores, they're the engine, the fuel, the unstoppable force propelling you toward your dreams. That's the difference. That's the power of discipline over motivation. And today we're going to uncover how to build habits so strong, so consistent, that they become more than actions. They become identity. And when your identity is unstoppable, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stand in your way. Motivation is a powerful word, but its nature is fleeting, fragile, and unpredictable. We've all experienced it. The surge of excitement when we set a new goal, the rush of adrenaline when we commit to a change, the feeling that today, somehow, we will finally do the thing we've been putting off. Motivation can light a fire in us, but it cannot sustain it. It depends on our emotions, our energy, our environment, and even our mood. One day you wake up feeling unstoppable, ready to conquer the world, and the next a minor setback or a slow morning can leave that fire flickering and dying. Motivation is unreliable because it is external. It relies on something happening to make us feel driven, inspired, or enthusiastic. And if life doesn't deliver those sparks, we falter. This is why so many people start with enthusiasm but fail to finish. They wait for that perfect feeling, that perfect moment, that surge of energy, and when it doesn't come, they stop. Discipline, on the other hand, is internal. Discipline is a choice. It is a commitment to take action, even when you don't feel like it, even when circumstances are against you, and even when motivation has left the building. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It's the muscle that grows stronger with every use, the engine that keeps running, whether the road is smooth or rough. When you choose discipline over motivation, you no longer leave your progress to chance. You no longer wait for the stars to align or for the right feeling to appear. You show up because you have decided that showing up matters more than how you feel. Think of the most successful people in the world. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, they don't reach the top by waiting for inspiration. They reach the top because they create systems, habits, and routines that enforce consistent action. They wake up at the same hour. They practice their craft daily. They execute relentlessly. Their success is not a product of being motivated every single day. It's a product of disciplined effort, repeated over time, regardless of the internal emotional climate. Motivation might get you started, but discipline ensures you finish. Discipline allows you to turn aspirations into habits, habits into routines, and routines into results. It is the constant, the unwavering force that pushes you forward when enthusiasm wanes, when the mind says not today, when challenges try to pull you off course. Without discipline, your goals remain dreams. With discipline, those same goals become inevitable outcomes. The moment you realize that motivation is not your master, but discipline is your tool, is the moment you shift from being reactive to proactive. You stop waiting for energy, excitement, or inspiration. You build a foundation that is unshakable because it does not depend on fleeting emotions. And the beauty of discipline is that it compounds. Each small act of consistency, each time you choose to act despite not feeling like it, strengthens your ability to act again in the future. You train yourself to be reliable, resilient, and unstoppable. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers because while others falter when motivation fades, you continue moving forward step by step, action by action, habit by habit, until progress becomes inevitable, success becomes a matter of time, and your goals are no longer dreams but reality. Habits are the invisible architecture of our lives, the small repeated actions that shape who we are and what we ultimately achieve. While we often focus on big goals or grand visions, it is the daily rituals, the tiny choices, and the consistent behaviors that determine the trajectory of our lives. Habits are not just routines, they are the building blocks of identity. Every time you make a conscious choice to act, to show up, or to push forward, you are either reinforcing the person you want to become or the person you fear becoming. Success is not a sudden moment of inspiration. It is the accumulation of small, deliberate actions taken over time. Think about it this way. Water, drop by drop, carves a canyon through solid rock. Each drop may seem insignificant, but its consistency and persistence create something monumental. In the same way, the habits you cultivate repeated day after day compound into results that may seem impossible at first but are inevitable over time. The power of habits lies in their ability to automate behavior. Once a habit is formed, it reduces the friction of decision-making. It frees mental energy, allowing you to focus on higher-level strategies, creativity, and growth. This is why people who master habits can accomplish more with less effort. They've programmed themselves to act consistently, even when motivation wanes or circumstances are challenging. Habits also create momentum. Momentum is the invisible force that makes progress easier once you start moving. When you show up consistently, perform the necessary actions, and stick to a routine, each day builds upon the previous one. Before you know it, you are moving faster, achieving more, and breaking through barriers that once seemed insurmountable. Another critical aspect of habits is their ability to influence identity. When you commit to certain behaviors, those behaviors eventually become part of who you are. Someone who runs every morning is not just a person who runs, they are a runner. Someone who studies, practices, and refines their craft daily is not merely someone learning, they are a master in progress. By aligning your habits with your desired identity, you create an unstoppable cycle where your actions reinforce your beliefs, and your beliefs reinforce your actions. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. Habits also protect you from relying on fluctuating motivation. Motivation is inconsistent, fragile, and often unreliable. Habits, on the other hand, are anchored in routine and discipline. They continue even when enthusiasm fades, when life gets tough, or when obstacles arise. When you build the right habits, you no longer have to wait for the perfect moment to act. You act because that is who you have trained yourself to be. The compound effect of habits is remarkable. One small action repeated consistently may seem insignificant at first, but over weeks, months, and years, it produces results far beyond what most people imagine. Whether it's health, career, relationships, or personal growth, your habits dictate the quality and trajectory of your life. Habits are not a limitation. They are the secret weapon of the high achiever, the engine of progress, and the foundation upon which unstoppable success is built. They transform intention into reality, effort into mastery, and dreams into tangible achievements. Growth, progress, and transformation rarely occur in comfort. In fact, the path to extraordinary results is almost always paved with discomfort, challenge, and resistance. Human nature gravitates toward ease, toward routines that feel safe, toward habits that demand the least effort. Yet, if we remain in the zone of comfort, we stagnate. True progress requires a willingness to embrace discomfort, to step into situations that test your limits, and to act consistently even when it feels difficult or inconvenient. Discomfort is not the enemy, it is the signal that you are stretching, evolving, and moving beyond the familiar. When you commit to building unstoppable habits, you inevitably encounter resistance. Your mind will protest, your emotions will waver, your environment may push back. These moments of resistance are precisely where growth occurs. Each time you choose discipline over convenience, action over procrastination, and consistency over ease, you are strengthening the very muscles that will carry you to your goals. Embracing discomfort also cultivates resilience. Life is unpredictable. Challenges, setbacks, and obstacles are inevitable. By consistently practicing disciplined action in the face of discomfort, you train yourself to persist when circumstances are difficult, to stay focused when distractions arise, and to maintain momentum when the world seems to conspire against you. Discomfort becomes a teacher, showing you the boundaries of your current capabilities and revealing the areas where you can expand. Another critical aspect of embracing discomfort is the psychological shift it produces. When you willingly face difficulty, you redefine your perception of what is possible. Tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable. Challenges that once triggered fear or hesitation become opportunities for growth. By consistently confronting discomfort, you condition your mind to thrive under pressure, to welcome challenges as catalysts rather than threats, and to see struggle as a necessary ingredient of success. Moreover, embracing discomfort is not about recklessness or unnecessary suffering. It is about deliberate, intentional action that pushes you slightly beyond your comfort zone every day. It's in these incremental steps that mastery is built. Small acts of courage, consistency, and perseverance compound over time, creating unstoppable momentum. The habit of leaning into difficulty transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers because it creates a mindset that refuses to quit, a body conditioned to endure, and a spirit strengthened by repeated victories over resistance. Every time you choose the harder path, every time you persist when others would give up, you send a message to yourself that your goals matter more than temporary ease. You teach yourself that your potential is not dictated by comfort, that your future is built in the moments when you push past resistance, and that real success belongs to those who are willing to endure, to persist, and to act despite the discomfort. The process of embracing discomfort also fosters self-discipline, focus, and determination. When you repeatedly confront challenges and push through them, you internalize the truth that achievement is rarely convenient, that success is earned through persistence, and that comfort is the enemy of growth. By making discomfort a familiar companion rather than a feared adversary, you condition yourself to act decisively, persist relentlessly, and cultivate the unstoppable habits that define high achievers. Every action you take, every choice you make, is an opportunity to shape your life. The essence of discipline is not about willpower alone. It is about taking control of your decisions, reclaiming authority over your actions, refusing to let external circumstances dictate your destiny. Too often, people allow their emotions, moods, or surroundings to govern their behavior. They wait for the right feeling, the perfect environment, or a surge of motivation to do what they know they should. But waiting for these conditions is a form of surrender. Real power comes when you recognize that your life is the sum of your choices, and that consistent, intentional decisions are the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. When you take control of your choices, you stop blaming situations, people, or luck. You understand that your results are a direct reflection of your actions, not of your circumstances. This mindset shifts you from being reactive to proactive. Instead of responding to life, you shape it. Discipline becomes your lever, giving you the ability to act with purpose regardless of external conditions. Each decision you make is a building block. Choosing to act when it is inconvenient, to persist when it is difficult, and to prioritize long-term outcomes over short-term gratification compounds over time. These choices reinforce your identity and your trajectory. They teach your mind and body that you are reliable, capable, and committed. Another crucial aspect of controlling your choices is recognizing the power of delayed gratification. Immediate impulses often conflict with long-term goals, and the ability to delay momentary satisfaction in favor of meaningful results is a hallmark of disciplined individuals. By mastering your choices, you align your daily actions with your ultimate objectives, ensuring that every step moves you closer to your vision. Discipline is also about consistency. Making conscious choices once is not enough. It is the repetition of these choices, day in and day out, that creates momentum and forms habits. When you consistently act in alignment with your values and goals, you cultivate a sense of control over your life that no external force can easily shake. This sense of control breeds confidence, resilience, and a mindset oriented toward growth. Furthermore, controlling your choices fosters accountability. You begin to see that excuses, procrastination, and blame are obstacles you impose on yourself. By taking responsibility for your decisions, you reclaim authority over your outcomes and cultivate a mindset where challenges are opportunities rather than threats. The discipline to choose deliberately transforms chaos into structure, uncertainty into clarity, and hesitation into action. It empowers you to navigate life with purpose, to respond rather than react, and to build a future rooted in intentionality rather than chance. When you embrace control over your choices, you realize that the most powerful tool for transformation is not external circumstances, not fleeting motivation, but the simple, steadfast act of deciding, acting, and committing repeatedly until those choices compound into unstoppable momentum. Action is the engine that transforms intention into reality. Without it, even the clearest goals and the strongest desires remain dreams, intangible and unrealized. Momentum, that invisible force that propels success forward, is born from repeated, decisive action. The simple act of showing up consistently, regardless of how you feel, what distractions arise, or how challenging the path becomes, creates a rhythm that compounds over time. Each step forward reinforces the next. Each effort builds upon the last, and before long, the energy of movement becomes unstoppable. This principle is what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who only imagine them. Momentum is not magic. It is the cumulative effect of disciplined, persistent effort. When you take action, you generate feedback, learn from mistakes, and refine your approach. This iterative process not only accelerates progress, but also strengthens confidence and reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. One action leads to another, and what initially feels like a small, almost insignificant step can snowball into massive results. Action creates clarity. The more you move, the more you understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and the opportunities available to you. Waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, or the perfect burst of motivation keeps you stagnant. By acting consistently, you uncover solutions, discover possibilities, and reveal potential that would have remained hidden in inaction. Discipline ensures that this action is consistent. Motivation may spark a momentary burst, but momentum is sustained by habit. The repeated, structured execution of small tasks builds the force that drives you through obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. This is why habits are so critical. They automate action, remove the friction of indecision, and maintain momentum even when external conditions are unfavorable. Action also breeds courage. Every time you act despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty, you condition yourself to persist. The first step is often the hardest, but once you commit to it, subsequent steps become easier because you are already moving. Momentum feeds on itself, creating an upward spiral where confidence, experience, and results reinforce one another. Another important aspect of action is accountability. When you act, you take ownership of your outcomes. Each effort, whether successful or not, provides data, insight, and experience that can be leveraged for growth. By consistently taking responsibility for your actions, you gain control over your life and build the habit of forward progress. Action transforms ideas into results, effort into mastery, and ambition into achievement. Those who wait passively for the right time or the right feeling remain on the sidelines, while those who act relentlessly create their own opportunities. The compounding effect of action and momentum is profound. Small efforts, repeated over time, generate results far greater than the sum of their parts. The principle is simple but powerful. Start, persist, repeat. Momentum grows quietly at first, almost imperceptibly, until it reaches a tipping point where progress accelerates naturally, energy amplifies, and results multiply exponentially. This is the hidden force behind every success story, the engine that drives ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes, and the proof that showing up consistently, acting decisively, and refusing to quit transforms potential into unstoppable reality.